Tonight on The Roast, the Coalition sort of promises a surplus and also announces a vouchers program for married couples. But first, let's check in on the campaign trail with Mark Humphries.
The third and final leaders debate took place last night, and in the words of Octomum, I can't handle another one. 100 undecided voters gathered to interrogate Prime Minister Kevin Rudd and opposition leader Tony Abbott, but unfortunately Rudd was less interested in answering their questions and more interested in judging them.
Your question is fundamental to the entire debate and I believe the whole election. It's really important. Your question's a really important one. It's a really important question.
But who had the most important question? Why, it was Kevin Rudd.
The core question's this, and let me try to answer it in just one simple way. I see my job as Prime Minister of Australia as doing everything possible to protect your job for the future.
That's not a question, but Rudd wasn't the only one repeating himself. Remember when Abbott made this poignant remark at the first debate?
Mr. Rudd talks about a new way. Well, if you want a new way, you've got to choose a new government.
Well, he tried to do it again.
I agree with Mr. Rudd that we do need a better way.
Nope, you f***ed it. It's a new way, not a better way.
But to have a better way, we've got to choose, you've got to choose a new government.
It was like watching The Hangover Part 2. Tried to capture the magic of the original, but just felt repetitive and time-consuming. And the highlight of the debate, though, was Rudd trying to win Abbott over to his side.
3 positive reasons why I hope you'll be voting Labor.
This one's a lost cause, Ruddy. All the latest polling indicates Tony Abbott votes Liberal. The debate was broadcast by Sky News, but if you weren't satisfied with their coverage, this guy had you covered.
Everyone can get ahead. We'll scrap the carbon tax.
He had an important question for the leaders. Will you say cheese? Moving on now, and Clive Palmer, the man who I can assure you is not a fictional character, says he will sue Liberal National Party candidate Mal Brough for defamation. Palmer says he wants to start the case as soon as we can, certainly before the election, which makes for a hectic schedule next week. Monday, run for Prime Minister. Tuesday, build Titanic 2. Wednesday, twerk. Thursday, build dinosaurs. Friday, sue Mal Brough. Saturday, win the Prime Ministership. Sunday, wake up and realise it was all just a dream. And opposition leader Tony Abbott has pledged $16 million for upgrades to the Cadbury chocolate factory in Tasmania. A waste of money if they don't bring back the snowflake. And as if $16 million wasn't enough, during his visit, Abbott even helped make some chocolate. Let's try one of Tony's chocolates. Moro, what's a Moro? Is it when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie? No, that's a More. Let's try one of Abbott's other chockies. Tastes like real change. Tastes like Stop the Boats. Someone's already licked this one. The visit has also given the media the opportunity to create more shit puns. In a segment we're calling, No More Puns, You're Meant to Be Journalists. The Tasmania Examiner racked their brains to come up with sweet deal for Cadbury. The Herald Sun reinvented journalism with Abbott offers Tassie sweetener. And Sydney Morning Herald went for the Walkley with puns milked as Tony Abbott visits chocolate factory. Hey, Sydney Morning Herald, puns milked is a pun. For the Roast, I'm Mark Humphries.
Is that my bin? Next up tonight, Joe Hockey has declared that the Coalition will deliver a budget surplus when it is reasonable and responsible to do so. I have to say that's a pretty good plan. Hold off on announcing a surplus until you are sure, because no matter how carefully you budget, something always pops up. Maybe it's a war, an economic downturn, or you accidentally just bump into someone's Mercedes at the shopping centre. There's always something. Now, Chris Bowen responded to Joe Hockey by saying that Hockey had a lot of huff, a lot of puff, a lot of bluster, a lot of blowing, but no date. So from this statement, it seems clear Mr. Bowen has been reading The Three Little Pigs and that he thinks Joe Hockey is the big bad wolf. A big bad wolf, mind you, who cannot get a date. And on the topic of dates, Tony Abbott is certain of one thing.
We will deliver a surplus quicker and more reliably than the Labor Party.
Oh, thank God I'm home.
Clark.
I was just in a parallel dimension where the Labor Party has already won the election.
All right, did they end up delivering a surplus slower than the Coalition could?
Oh, surplus, don't you start. You know what I found in every dimension? Governments promising they won't spend more money than they plan to. You know what I didn't find? A dimension where everything went to plan.
All right, so you're saying that you can't plan not to go over budget when things that you didn't budget for come up?
Well, not unless there's no more wars or natural disasters or GFCs, you know, stuff you can plan.
Right, well, could you try to find a parallel universe where surpluses happen no matter what?
Weren't you listening?
No.
Fine. Oh, this is it?
Bye, Clark.
Oh, thank God you're here, Clark. I need your help. I'm in a dimension where the government has promised to deliver a surplus by a deadline, no matter what.
Okay.
Damn, the deadline is today, and we still need to cut $200 billion.
Why?
Oh, something unexpected happened.
Okay, what can I do?
Oh, blow up some schools with me?
I can't do that.
Nursing homes then, anything to cut our spending. We promised to deliver a surplus.
I'm out of here.
Oh, God damn it, unexpected events ruin everything.
For further analysis now on our Dimensions obsession with surplus, I am joined in the studio by Nick Richardson. Where have you been?
Sex party dimension.
Oh, wow. Now, are you going to vote for either party based on their promise of a surplus?
Oh, no, not really. I mean, it would be great if we could have an economy operating somewhere around the crazy surplus amounts of surplus region where the government is physically unable to spend the almost painful amount of money it has. But to get there, we'd have to stop spending money on things like schools and hospitals and those things we drive on. Basically, Australia.
So what is a healthy amount of surplus?
Oh, I don't know. I'd say if I could send my make-believe children to a school without it collapsing on them, or if it does collapse on them, then I could send them to a hospital where the doctors aren't just vagrants squatting in a derelict building, then that would be acceptable.
Okay, and how much surplus is that?
Exactly $23 billion?
Really?
I don't know, what do you want from me, a perfect number? I mean, we spend as much money as we need to keep Australia running. And if we have some left over, then that's great. And if we owe some at the end of the day, then we did what we had to keep a country running for another year.
Okay, point well made.
And my work here is done. I'm going back to the sex buddy universe. Ladies, there's almost too many of you.
Take me with you. Well, finally tonight, the Coalition has announced a relationship strengthening policy through which couples who register their intention to marry would be given $200 vouchers. But it's not going to be old JB Hi-Fi stereos and Coles Myer towel sets. No, those vouchers would only be redeemable for a range of counselling services, including conflict resolution, financial management and parenting skills. Which makes it a pretty weird wedding present. On the happiest day of a couple's life, the Coalition plans to give them a card that says, "Congratulations, it just gets worse from here."
This really is the happiest day of our lives.
Congratulations.
This was supposed to be my special day.
I'm next! And thankfully, the cashback scheme would not just be limited to married couples, since engaged couples could also register for premarital counselling, along with gay couples and de factos. First order of business for the gay couples marriage counsellor, answering the question, why can't we get married? But still, $200 for marriage counselling is not a huge amount of money. It really just represents one session with a quality psychologist, or maybe 2 sessions with a decent psychologist, or $102 sessions with this guy.
Well, mate, maybe this is just the world's way of saying you were never meant to be together. Oh, there. All right, it's closing time. Get out of here, you drunks.
So between paid parental leave, then unemployment bonuses and now relationship vouchers, it looks like the Liberal National Party knows what the Australian people want, and what they want is to have money thrown at them. And according to the polls, it seems to be working. But as a long-term strategy, hurling money at problems is not particularly sustainable. So maybe the Liberal National Party needs to take one of those vouchers and sit down with Australia to talk it out.
So to recap, Sean, you feel insecure about Kara's commitment to you, and giving her this money is your way of showing you care. Kara, you wish Sean would stop throwing money around and be more financially responsible like he used to be. Kara wants to know where you're getting all this money from and Sean, how much you're really spending. You know, no relationship can function without honesty and truth.
I thought I was giving you real solutions.
You can't just solve our problems by throwing money at them. You actually have to show me you care.
I thought money was caring.
You just don't get it.
I'm sorry, but I think that's time. Now get out of here, you drunks!
Of course, it is just a pilot program, and the intention behind it is a noble one, bringing couples, all couples, closer together for a more stable society. Although as a pilot program, it would also be capped at just 100,000 vouchers, meaning, inevitably, some couples will miss out. Then they'd be pissed, then they'd blame each other, and without a $200 voucher to help them out, their only chance at staying together would be to go to the $2 guy.
Well, mate, maybe this is just the government's way of saying you weren't meant to be together.
And that's the
Has the election ended in this dimension yet?
No, 9 days to go. No, take me with you! Clark! Oh,
Good night.